Hello, this is Will Duran, author of the Daniel Prophecy, Using Math and Science to Solve an Old Problem. And in summary, what I wanted to discuss is one part of the book that I've written about the book of Daniel, and specifically it's in Daniel chapter 9. Now I just want to hit just a single point, so I'm not here to describe the entire 70-week prophecy, but in general terms, the traditional interpretation, when I say traditional, I mean the interpretation that is given by most theologians, and that is that in the 70 weeks of the prophecy, that refers to 490 years of prophetic time. The traditional interpretation, again, what I agree with, begins with the order by Artaxerxes to rebuild the temple. And from that point, 483 years, or 69 weeks, arrives the Messiah, which we know as Jesus. Now, I don't disagree with the traditional interpretation, but what I want to expand on this is something that it is one of my ideas, and that is, when I say it's one of my ideas, it's an idea that I've not heard any other theologian provide. And the problem that I'm going to address here quickly is that the traditional or the prophecy refers to the Messiah at 69 weeks, but it also says that the Messiah is cut off at 62 weeks. So we've got a problem of crossover time. Now, traditional interpretation takes a stab at saying that perhaps these missing 49 years or 7 weeks between 62 and 69 are taken up in the building of the temple, the original temple. I'm not sure there's a lot of substantiation for that. That's more of an idea for lack of any other answer. But let's look at the verses real quick. So in verse 9:25, we have, "Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks, 62 weeks. So there we have 69 weeks. That's only half the verse. I'm not reading the entire verse. Let's go to verse 26. "And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off," and cut off in the King James means he's crucified. "But not for himself, he died for our sins, not for him. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined." So we've got the Messiah at 69 weeks, and we've got the Messiah being cut off at 62. Now, here's my answer to this, my interpretation, and these are things that I go into more deep discussion in my book, and that is that there's two timelines where the 62 and 69 overlay each other. Now, at first that might sound outlandish. It's certainly a new idea. But I think there's a lot of justification for that. I do believe it to be the case. And I'll tell you why. And when we look at that verse 26, after the Messiah is cut off, "And the people of the prince shall come and destroy the city and sanctuary." Now, we understand that destruction of the city and the sanctuary occurred when the Roman troops destroyed Jerusalem in 70 AD. But we have a problem here in the traditional interpretation. And that is that there's no prophetic time assigned for that event within the prophecy, as if you use the traditional interpretation. The traditional interpretation stops time at the crucifixion and then picks up the last week in our future. I do agree there's a last week in our future, but I also believe there to be two timelines. And my book goes into the detail of where these days are, how these days are accounted for in this second timeline. And I will say it matches up exactly. It is an amazing idea. It's not picked up by anyone else that I know of. If you know of someone who's picked up this idea, I would greatly appreciate you discussing it in the comments below or contacting me, because I don't know of any. So this idea with the two timelines allows for prophetic time from the crucifixion unto Jerusalem. That's a major change in biblical understanding of chapter 9. Now I'm not going to go into every detail of that idea because this is a video, it's a short video. My description and justification for this are in the book. Now, I don't mind telling you, it's not like it's a big secret. Given enough time, I probably will make a video that would cover this topic identical as best I could to the book itself. So I'm not trying to hide something from you. It just takes a little time to describe it. For one, it's a brand new idea. But right now, I'll leave you with the point that I believe and I feel that there are two timelines, and this is something that I've studied for literally decades. But it doesn't mean I'm an expert. People study Bible all their life and they don't know everything and they miss things. So I'm not saying that I know everything. That's not the point. But I am saying this is a new idea, and it is within my book. I would encourage you to read it, and I would encourage questions from it as also. So to summarize, there is no description within theological interpretation except for this that allows for prophetic time that includes time of the destruction of Jerusalem. This answers that question. So again, thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. Bye now.